everyone. I'm so happy for all of you to come and join Evie Unbounded. And today, if you're a sweet tooth like me, I love all the cupcake. I love cake. I love all the sweet dessert. Anyway, so for all the sweet tooth people out there today, you are gonna have a treat because today's guest is a really close girlfriend of mine. She's awesome, amazing, and she's the CEO and founder of Susie Cake. That remind me, I just ordered one of your celebration cake, which we have to talk about that for our mutual friend. It's gonna deliver. Yes, celebration cake is something you must have for your loved one, for your best buddy, for it's just anything for your son, for your daughter. Celebration is a famous birthday cake. Well, at least to me, it looks celebration the way it looks. Okay, I haven't introduced her. I'm just talking about all the stuff that she's doing. So Susie, thank you for coming to Evie Unbound. I know before you started Susie Cake, you were in the hospitality for a very long time, over 20 years, over 25, like 25 years. And the reason why you started, I heard your story when you recently just came to our YPO retreat and you talk about how you want to start Susie Cake. One of it is something I love because I also have grandma. How you just love watching both your grandma making all the delicious dessert, and they will write their recipe in just 3x5 card. I don't know, like young people nowadays, I don't know. I feel old all the time. I don't know if they know what 3x5 card was, but this is something we always use when I was in school, when we write little notes and memory card. So back in the day, all time, our mom and our grandmother, I guess, they will always write this little recipe card like on this 3x5. And I remember my grandma would put it in the little box. Is that what your grandma did too?
In the little box. In the little box.
And that is the treasure, because that is like a generation passed from their mother, their aunt, their secret sauce or their secret recipe. And Susie was watching your grandmother was doing that and then making all the dessert. And then so that's how you start Susie Cake. And also I really love another reason why you started it, because you wanted to help women in the hospitality with better schedule with life, work, and balance, right? So tell me about that. Like, is that why you want to start Susie Cake?
Hi, first of all, thank you for that super warm introduction. It's
very
heartfelt how much you love the celebration cake and Susie Cake.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on, Evie. Yes, I mean, the idea was, as you mentioned, hatched to honor my grandmothers and women of that greatest generation. They were first generation immigrants from Poland and Italy. Their names were Mildred and Madeline, and they lived across the alley from each other in Chicago, which is how my parents met. And my dad was a firefighter, so I spent, many nights and weekends at their houses, and they always had some like great baked dessert, whether it was apple pie or oatmeal cookies or banana pudding. Like there was always something there, and it was our time to connect. And they were teaching me morals and values, which I didn't realize is in addition to teaching me baking, they were teaching me really just how to be a good person. And, their mantra to me was, if you work hard and you're nice to people, this country is your oyster. And I never forgot that. And as I got older and I worked in the industry, I saw a lot of women leaving around the age of 30 because it was very hard to even think about starting a family, least alone have a date, right? Because you're working every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at night closed to early morning shifts. And the two ideas came together. Like, what a beautiful thing to honor our grandmothers and all of that generation who gave us so much to who we are today, and then help women that I saw either struggling, wanting to be in food service or hospitality, but did not want to be away from their families on holidays. And so those two ideas came together to form the business plan.
I really like that, the fact that you wanted to help empower women. And it's true, because in that industry, as a woman, is almost like it's very difficult because you definitely have to work on weekend and the schedule. So how did you implement that in Susie Cake? So how's the people work?
So our business model is based on shorter hours of operation for working. So instead of saying something like a coffee shop that's open from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., we are open from 10 or 11 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. So it's a shortened day so that you have the morning to do your morning stuff. You have nighttime where you could, if you want to go on a date, if you want to see your girlfriends for drinks, if you want to put your kids to bed, all of those things are possible because we're not open super late. We also are closed on all major holidays, and then we close early the day before major holidays as well.
And then I noticed on your, I stalk you by looking at your social media. And one of the things I noticed recently was one of the employee was with the company for over 10 years, and they get a trip, and not just any trip, they get to go in Hawaii. Tell me about that. That was so nice. I love it. Well, actually, you know what? I love it. But hopefully nobody from my office seeing that post. They're gonna be like, hey, Susie Cupcake offer Hawaii trip. What do you offer?
Exactly. Susie's hiring. I came up with that when we first, like from day one, I said, really want to reward people for tenure. So we have, special gifts on special anniversaries. And I said,
on top of that. So
there's an
so
iPad.
Not just the Hawaii. Okay.
No, there's an iPad at 8 years.
We need to hide this podcast.
They're like, just stop. And so we do. And so I thought, well, I said, it would be so nice. I said, 10 years is a really long time. And I thought, this is back in 2006. I'm like, who is going to be here for 10 years? Like nobody stays at jobs that long anymore. Very, very rarely.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, we'll do a trip for 2 for 5 days. Food and beverage, flights, the hotel, the whole 9 yards. And one of the greatest sources of pride and joy for me is being able to give those trips out. And to date, we've had somewhere between 15 and 20.
Susie, I hate to say it, especially in today, it's wanting to find good talent. It's so hard to find good talent nowadays. And for you to have somebody who's good talent and stay in the company for more than 10 years, that's amazing. It shows your leadership. For them wanting to stay. And I just thought it was a Hawaii trip. I didn't know there was like special holiday and gift and stuff. That's amazing. I talk about celebration cake because I love celebration cake. How you come up with that idea? That's more a question for me. So a little bit
right?
I want to know. Yes.
So my one grandmother made this great vanilla cake. It's butter based, so it tastes a little bit like pound cake. It's a little bit, denser than some other cakes, but that's because we use like really great European style butter, which is the best you can use, with vanilla icing. And it was always my favorite. I'm a vanilla person over chocolate, just is how I like things. And I wanted the cake to be our signature cake. And I wanted to make it happy. And so I added the funfetti sprinkles on the inside so that when you cut into it, immediately you're supposed to be happy about something, right?
It is happy.
It's happy. Even if it's like a Tuesday night and you're eating it, whatever, with one girlfriend and a bottle of wine or something, you open it, you're like, yeah.
It is so, this remind me when I was little, how when you go get ice cream and then you always like, oh, what you want on top of it?
Yeah,
and then
always happy.
Yeah. And then as a little girl, I was like, sprinkle, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
They induce joy. And then the color, what I did is I wanted the frosting color to be the same color as my grandmother's Pyrex mixing bowl, which are these bowls that were used for baking in the 50s and 60s and early 70s that were colored on the outside and white on the inside. I still have her bowl today. And that's what we now call Susie Blue. So I combined those.
I wanted to show people how the Susie Blue look like, because I have the little cupcake, there's no way I can eat the whole entire cake. Well, else I would have get a celebration cake for Olive to show everyone. But since, just me and my birthday's not coming. But I did order a celebration cake for a mutual friend, by the way. So I got a cupcake. So I just want to show everybody that's the Susie Blue, what she was saying is that blue thing. Yeah.
And I know you can't eat a whole one, but then you've got something to eat with your coffee in the morning when you only have half a cupcake at night, right?
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I really wanted is a celebration cake but I wonder, no pressure. If you
Yeah.
ever come with celebration cupcake, let me know. Then I can at least eat that or
This is,
something. Yeah. Okay. So that's how you come up with the
yeah,
celebration
yeah,
cake and then a color. And what make you thought about, I know your first one was in Brentwood because
yeah,
that was the one that I actually always go when I was at
yeah.
UCLA. And it was really interesting because cupcake was something that it was you don't see that many bakery shop or dessert store. It's that I don't even know if there's a word for it because there's
Yeah,
nothing if you want to go just for dessert, right? Because there's coffee shop for sure,
right.
just donut shop, but for like a bakery dessert place that is cute and you can buy a little piece. We didn't know about it, at least at that time. So I remember, after class, or if me and my girlfriend want to like celebrate something, or we like, yeah, we work hard, we study hard, let's go get something.
Yeah.
Susie Cake was the place we would go, and it was so close to UCLA, so that used to be our favorite place. And that I don't know when that was. Is it 2006?
2006. Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was.
god.
I know. It's hard to believe.
Yeah. So from that to now you have how many store?
26 locations throughout
Wow.
California and Texas. Yep.
It's growing so fast. Like how you grow so fast within I mean for people this is really we in 2023 and you are still growing. And I remember the small little shop when you first opened in
Yeah.
Brentwood. How did you like expand it so quickly?
Mhm.
And yeah, and so on.
Yeah, my goal from day one was never to just have one bakery. I wanted Susie Cakes to be a household name and a national brand. And at the time, that was like a super far-fetched idea, right? But I always share with entrepreneurs and founders, like, think even bigger than you think you can achieve, right? And that way you have a better chance of it. And so I wanted this, and from day one, I put together standard operating procedures for every single thing we did in the bakery so that when we were ready to open a second location, we already had all the materials created. Nothing needed to be redone. And
Mm-hmm.
then every opening we did, we just refined things. And then hired a head of training and then a training team. And so now we're really very much dialed in where we can open multiple locations in 1 year because we have the infrastructure completely built.
And they all have great consistency because it doesn't matter which one you go. Because I would go to one near my house,
Yeah.
I would go to the one near my girlfriend's house. They all taste excellent. And there was, how sometimes it's hard to
Mhm.
control the
Sure.
consistency. You do is such like I don't know what you did, but it's such a great job. And I think a lot of time people didn't realize how hard it is to create that consistency, especially you have multiple
Yes.
store. Yeah.
It's very difficult because we have a kitchen on site at each location. So nothing's coming in our back door, off a
Oh,
conveyor belt somewhere, right? So it's actual human
everything's
beings.
fresh. Yes.
Right. So that consistency is really hard to keep track of because human error comes into play. Someone mixes up the baking soda with the baking powder, right? Someone doesn't
Mm-hmm.
put quite enough cocoa powder,
Yeah.
thousands of examples. So it's a very, regimented system in the back to make sure that all the processes are followed. But there is also a lot of tasting too. So
Like I said, I'm so impressed with the consistency, and then I understand how many store you have, and all of them are like always taste good. It doesn't matter which store you go to, and it's everything's fresh. And then I think in the retreat you were saying you do make everything fresh, right? And then so every store have a kitchen, so it's not like
Mhm.
somebody just ship it over.
Right, correct.
Yeah. Well, I know one of the requests I have was I was telling Susie at the retreat, I was like, can we have Susie cupcakes somewhere in the airport? Because I fly so much. It would be so nice if I could just see her cupcake somewhere and then I can just get it. And she's like, well, you want it fresh? Everything we have is fresh. So it's really true. They're all freshly made. Okay. And then, so for people want to order, do they have to like, how many days they need to let you know, especially for celebration cupcake? I mean,
Yeah.
not cupcake,
You
celebration cake.
that's one of the other things I wanted to do. A lot of cake shops require a long lead time for something. We always have 6-inch and 9-inch cakes in our case ready to go every day, every flavor, and we can inscribe on them in the moment and sometimes do quick decoration in the moment. If you want something with more advanced decoration or like a wedding cake, I mean, a week or a couple days notice is more than ample.
And then also, like, you have so many locations, so it's great for me to order even for a mutual friend for birthday. I only got it. I only got it done. And so this is what I get for everyone. Just to let you know, I'm a chocolate lover, so this is what I get. But it make me happy because it had all the sprinkle on it. So just to see. And I was so happy because at the retreat, the little gift that we had when we went to our room after the class all day was a box of a 2 cupcake, as a box, and with 2 cupcakes in there. And it was one vanilla, one chocolate. It was perfect because I was so happy and I get to have it before I go to bed. And then I have the cupcake in the morning with the coffee. So it was like happy before
Yeah.
you go to bed, happy when you wake up and start the day. So it was great. Yeah. So what was the challenge? I mean, for you to expand it so fast, and it's a dessert concept, it's cupcake, it's cake. How do you get so many people invested in you and growing so fast?
So actual financial investors
Yeah,
or
yeah. Like, how do you
yeah,
persuade people to get involved
yeah,
and do it?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I have been doing fundraising myself for my company
yeah.
and app. It's not easy. It's not, especially as a woman, I have to be honest, is going out there and trying to persuade like investor and a VC to believe in you something that you
Mhm.
do. And then a
Yeah.
lot of times they're all more technical.
Mhm.
And they want to say, well, what's your company about? So how did you persuade people to expand it so
Yeah.
fast with your concept?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's really important to find a financial backer or partner that has the same vision as you do. And so that, my goal was to find a group of people or an individual who understood that we were more than just a bakery. We were actually helping bring celebration to people's lives at a time when more and more people are getting disconnected from each other on their cell phones, when really people really crave to be together, and you have to be together to eat a cake, right? Like you just have
Yes.
to by nature of it. And so I spoke more about our purpose and values, and our purpose is connecting through celebration, and that's about not only within the 4 walls for my team, but then when guests bring their cakes home, they're connecting with their family and friends. And I always say, that minute when the cake is in front of you with all the candles and you
Yeah,
just feel love, right? Like it's
I
just,
do.
even people who don't like attention feel like, wow, this is special. Someone that got me a cake, my name's on it, and there's candles and
Yeah.
sprinkles, right? Like, and
Yeah.
so, really communicating that purpose. And, I was very fortunate and blessed that we found a financial partner who we have the same partner who has backed us for over 12 years now. And I'm just incredibly grateful.
I think it's really, it's one of the things how you persuade your purpose and your mission. And I see, even when you just telling me that, as if I was an investor, I would love the concept, the
Yeah.
story. You're right, because every time when you have a cake, especially have also sprinkle on it, it's all about celebration. And why would people doesn't want to feel happy and celebrate? It's like me, like champagne. Nobody drinks champagne when they're sad.
That's
Everybody
right.
drinks champagne when they're happy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So same thing. So it's telling your mission. So you align with your mission, your purpose, and then the way you're telling the story. And then,
Mhm.
so what would be the biggest challenge going to do this? Since you have everything go so smoothly, and I'm
Mhm.
sure there's challenges, right? So
Yeah,
what
oh,
would be the challenge?
sure. There's many challenges. I mean, I think the biggest challenge for us always, and I think perhaps maybe in every business, is finding really great people, right? And so our hiring process is longer than most other restaurants or food service concepts, because we want to make sure that it's the right fit, because we have, goodness, now almost 400 team members. And I want to make sure that we're not constantly going through this turnover cycle every couple months or weeks or years with retraining people. So we hire based on values and value alignment with what the company is doing. So again, somebody could come to us with 20 years of great baking experience, but if they're missing, what we're trying to accomplish with this celebration piece that we're bringing to life, they're not going to be a fit within the organization. And so
So,
yeah,
so you hire people based on if they're aligned with your mission and purpose.
yes, yes,
And then I noticed that when you actually give the employee who made the 10-year,
yeah.
you actually present it to them.
Yes,
Like, do you,
that one I'm always there for in person. Like we just have to be. That's too big of a celebration
wow.
for a company that's based on celebration to not be there and honor that person and celebrate them.
See, this is the reason you have all those people want to stay with the company. It's the leadership. Yeah, because I saw that. I was like, Susie, I know she's so busy. And did she actually physically being there? So I guess you actually go whenever made the 10-year. And now you have store in Texas and California. Are you
Yeah.
thinking about expanding more?
We
Oh,
are,
wow.
yeah, we are. We have 4 new locations coming next year, which I'm
My
not
gosh.
quite at liberty to disclose
Yes.
yet, but we are going to be entering a new state next year. I can tell you that much.
Oh, I'm so excited. And then are you going to be physically going there when
Oh
whoever made
yeah,
it?
absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'll be there. A couple weeks before the opening, a couple weeks after the opening, and visiting monthly. Very important. Yeah.
So, Susie, I always ask my guests, when they come on the show, what would be the best advice if you would give the younger self or to another girl, another woman who wanted to dream something big and wanted to do something and they don't know how or they don't think they can do it or a challenge they're going to, like, what would you say to them?
Yeah. I think first and foremost, you have to have a belief in yourself and a true conviction around what you want to do, whatever that is in this world, like to really just feel it to your core and then pursue it with everything you have. And don't take no for an answer. If I would have taken no for an answer, I wouldn't be talking to you right now, Evie, and you would have never had the celebration cake because every single person who I initially pitched Susie Cakes to said it's a bad idea. This is a bad idea, bad idea. Time after time after
Wow.
time, everybody said it was a bad idea. Where I started thinking, maybe I am crazy to do this. And I'm like, no, I've got this, right? And so you have to have that conviction first and foremost and passion. But also, looking to get into, I'll take the baking industry in general. If you want to open your own business to get as much experience in the industry which you wish to be in. And so my goal, I didn't know that I was going to open Susie Cakes. I just knew I was going to do my own thing one day. And I got as much experience in all aspects of hospitality, from marketing to finance to human resources to real estate, with companies that I respected. And that gave me the platform to have the business sense to open the business. So I always recommend to people to get as much experience as you possibly can from companies you really admire and respect.
And I'm glad that you just shared that with us because from the outside, it seemed like everything's so smooth for you. Because I really remember the first store you had in Brentwood in 2006 to now 20 something over store and you're going to expend even more, 4 more to go. It just, to me, is like, unless you really hear from you from the outside, people always like, oh, she got lucky or she must have the special talent. But like, I think a lot of times people didn't realize you also get no, not just one no,
Yeah,
multiple no, right?
yeah, yeah. Multiple. And I read a book, Evie, that I love. It's called Heart, Smarts, Guts, and Luck. And I think you need all 4 things to be really successful. And so I think I had those things before I even realized I had those things. And the gut piece, I think, is the strongest factor for me.
So the gut is intuition.
Gut is like a full conviction and belief
Uh,
something can be done.
so lady, if you feel like you don't have the talent or you're not lucky enough or uh, you just hear a bunch of no, don't give up because we
Never give up.
all, yeah, it happened to everyone, even the people that you think they have everything. They also went through many no's. So,
Yes.
and just believe what you have to, just believe it, right? Because no one else is gonna believe in you. You have to believe yourself. Thank you so much, Susie. That was a great advice. Thank you. And thank you for coming to Evie Unbound. And I really want everybody to try Susie Cupcake. And you know what? I think everybody already try it. I don't even need to tell people to try it because your cake is it's pretty I don't know if that's a good thing to say. It's almost like a celebrity cake. Like everybody recognize it. So everybody have Susie cake. In fact, your cake is one of those like, oh, so and so having a birthday. They're getting the Susie cake. It's one of those. So love
Yeah.
it. And I'm so, so honored to know you. And I love your amazing story. And thank you for sharing your wisdom as always.
Thank you for having me, Evie.